Hey, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? It's been a long time, and I got two requests about Dogecoin. What the heck is going on with Dogecoin? So let's do a very quick live stream here. I was gonna do a video about Dogecoin, but to be honest, I've been so busy and so lazy to do it, editing and everything else. So this is we're gonna talk about Dogecoin, guys. All right, all right. If you look at this chart here, Dogecoin has been kind of like stabilized around the 6 pennies for a long time, for the last couple months. But the past 5 days, Doge make this major spike up in price. And all this has to do with Elon. I mean, everybody know by now that Elon bought Twitter. Elon is the Doge father. And with Elon owning Twitter, there's a very good chance that he could use Dogecoins as a form of currency for people to use on Twitter. And if Elon does that, obviously it's going to have Dogecoin. Well, so it's really up to Elon. I mean, if Elon start to say about Dogecoin, the price will continue to move up. And that, I mean, we don't know. I mean, that is like a force, like a unknown factor. What we can do now is really, I mean, we can look at this chart, and the chart basically tell us what is going to happen. All right, because there's some support resistance. I mean, like it or not, even though we talk about like crypto, we say, well, charting doesn't apply to cryptocurrency. But trust me, it does. All right, and let us kind of like quickly go over this. All right, now this is the daily chart, and let me kind of like quickly go through this so that we can kind of like try to decipher what is like the next level that those would likely move up to, and that's what point we may see some sort of like a pushback. Okay. So if you look at this chart, this is the daily chart. And let me see if you can see this clear. All right. Back around like the February of last year, that's when Doge made this major move. It ran up to about like almost 9 cents. And then at this point, we see this major resistance. Sellers step in, push the price down. It found support at around the 5 penny. And then again, when it retraced, hit 5 penny, it found support. So this is the kind of like the baseline support that we see in here. And obviously after that, I mean, we look at like around April of last year. I mean, those made this major run up. The key thing here is it was able to cross over this prior resistance of 8 point, almost 9 cents. All right. Now, fast forward during this bear market, I mean, Doge dropped down. And at this point, as you can see, it was trying to find buying support at right around this 9 penny. But after about like a week of struggling, as you can see here, let me clear this. As you can see right at this point, I mean, there's a lot more selling pressure. So the price broke down, dropped all the way down to about 4.7, almost 5 cents. As you can look at this point here, I mean, this is where it finds support. And then buyers step in and they help to kind of like stabilize the price. Then it tried to run up, but the minute it hit this 9 penny, which is this prior resistance, seller step in and push the price down. And then again, buyer step in to prevent the price from breaking down. So those was kind of like traded sideways for a long time. I mean, right at around the 5 to 6 penny. And then the last 5 days, as you can see, here's what I like. First of all, it spiked up. It tested this major resistance here at 9 cents, was able to break out, spike up. So now what it's telling me is this here. Those is setting up a new baseline. The baseline before was right at around a 5-6 penny. And now that baseline is moving up to about 9 cents. All right, so let's clear this. Now, next major resistance, which is those, is heading up right now. I mean, right now it is trading at, let me see what it is right now. Those is trading at about 11.3 cents. It's up about 34% today. If you look at this chart, all right, let me do this here so that we can kind of like see this better. So this was the channel that those would kind of like bouncing back and forth. Now, as you can see, it's completely clear this channel. So this line here now to me is the new baseline right now, which is around 9 cents. Those is trending up. Here is another thing that I like. Let me zoom in so that we can see this. All right, let me zoom in. When you look at this complete chart, all right, those spiked all the way to about like 78 cents before, and after that, we saw this retrace. And what I did here is I draw this high point, this high point. This is the downward trend line that those has to clear in order for it to begin this sort of like step up. And finally, if you look at this here, this line here, after like almost a year, those finally cross outside of that, which is a very good sign. All right. The next line that it has to clear is this here, which is right around the 16 cents. I'll get to that in a little bit. All right, let's go back to the chart. Now, those right now, it is up about almost 36%, 36%, trading at 11.4 cents. It is right at this point. Now, the next major resistance I see is at 12.5 cents. If you look at this yellow line, as you can see right at this point, when it dropped, it found support, bounce up, drop, found support, bounce up again. And then here it was struggling, but it found buying support, cross over this again. Finally, at this point, the price broke down. And since then, it's been trading below that. So now it's getting closer to testing this here, 12.5 cents. To me, this is the key level that those has to cross. One thing about those is we know that, I mean, the momentum is there. It can easily cross and run higher. I mean, that is something that, we cannot predict. But if we just looking at this chart, I mean, purely looking at this chart, one thing we have to remember is like look at the stochastic oscillator. I mean, right now, it is like way, way overboard right now. I mean, it's running up there, but it doesn't mean that it cannot run higher than what it is. But the key thing is, if you look at the chart, we have to be a little bit concerned because remember, nothing goes up forever. It has to retrace to find some sort of like support before it bounces up again. All right. So let's also look at like the Bollinger Band. And I bet the Bollinger Band is way, way overstretched right now. There it is. I mean, if you follow my channel, you know that I look at the Bollinger Band because the Bollinger Band is a very good indicator of like when it was kind of like consolidate. I mean, when you look at this here, the Bollinger Band get really tight and the price didn't move much. Finally, now you see this major spike and then the Bollinger Band expanded. Now you see the price is trade way outside of this Bollinger Band. So most likely we're going to see some pushback right at this area here, 12.5 cents. There's a very good probability that we could see this thing. Well, just like I said, the momentum is something that I cannot predict. If the momentum is there, it could easily bust through this. But normally when I look at a chart like this, most likely that I would look for some sort of pushback at this point. There is a chance that we could see those retest this prior resistance that it was able to, I mean, broke out. So we could potentially see those retest the 10 or even the 9 cents. And here is the key. If we look at this, let me zoom in again. I hate to say this to you guys, but when you zoom in again, all right, because I want to show the downward trend line here. All right. This is the downward trend line. And when we extend it to right at this point, which is around 9 cents, and the 9 cents is also the upper resistance of this channel that those was able to break out today. So most likely, I mean, this is what I think. If, sorry guys, I mean, let me just zoom in because it's hard to see. All right, here. So let me do this here. Let me draw this. All right, so this here is the major level that it has to cross. 12.5 cents. If it get rejected, most likely we're going to see it retest this point. Given the fact that Elon owns Twitter right now, I don't expect to see the price break down. I mean, unless one thing we have to keep in mind is the stock market right now, it is horrible. All right. I mean, unless the stock market stabilizes, because when the market drops, cryptocurrency will drop. I mean, like it or not, that is going to be the case. But most likely, I think that we probably see some support at this point because, like I said earlier, to me right now, those have moved the baseline from about 5 to 6 cents to about the 8 and 9 cents right now. So we could see something like this, and then it would slowly bounce up again. Now, the second time with this bounce up, I am betting on the fact it may be able to cross over this. If it could do that, then the next major resistance I see is right at about 16.5 cents. Why 16.5 cents? Wait, let me remove this Bollinger Band so that we can see it better. 16.5 cents is right at this line, the red line. If you look at this chart, you can see that there's a lot. I mean, like back around 2001, you see it found support at 16.5, found support at 16.5, found support at 16.5, briefly dropped but bounced right back up. And again, kind of like struggle, but was able to find support at 16.5. Briefly broke down but bounced right back up. Broke down, tried to retest this, but get rejected. You see that? It found support and finally broke down, get rejected. Try it again, get rejected again. Try it again, get rejected again. So now, if those can cross over 12.5 cents, the next major level is 16 and a half. Because also at 16 and a half, as you can see, it lined up with the second line that I have here, which is the downward trend line. If we plot these two high point, this is the next downward trend line here. It matches right at about 16 and a half cents. Now the key is, if we are looking for those to run up, let's say to an all-time high, because everybody want to see that happen. In order for that to happen, you got to have buyers, all right? And that is something that I am very much concerned about. So have to be careful with this, all right? Let me show you what I mean by that. If I look at the weekly chart, all right, this is the weekly chart, and let me just remove this stochastic. The weekly chart shows us the volume. All right, when we look at this here, when those ran up, cross over this major resistance in here, you see huge spike in buying volume. And then it retraced, and when it crossed over this and ran all the way to 78 cents, you see volume. There is almost no volume right now. That is something that, you have to kind of like keep in mind, because you have to have buyer. You need retail buyers to step in order for this thing to be able to run up, and let's say to the 16 and a half cents and cross over that. So there's two major factors kind of like against us right now. Volume is still low. It doesn't mean that maybe tomorrow we could see the volume pick up. But for this guy here to be able to sustain this sort of like upward, the volume has to pick up. The second thing is, like I said, right now, we are in a recession. So the stock market is still under a lot of selling pressure. And that is also something that is kind of like against those right now. So keep that in mind. Another thing I see is you still have people that bought in high and they've been holding on to it. When they see a major spike, some may decide to scale down, and that is also hurting those as well. But the positive thing I see is Elon. Obviously, Elon owning Twitter right now definitely is helping those. So now, let's look at those again. As you can see right now, right at about like 12 and a half cents, we're starting to see this pushback. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. Here it is. When you look at the 1 hour chart, all right, it was stabilizing, ran up, consolidate. If you look at this, this is a classic case of a bull flag here. Broke out, crossed over this high point. It ran up very much. If you look at like the distance here, look at the distance for the bull flag. Let's see here if I can draw this line here. This from this point here to this point, and there it is. It kind of like ran momentum, push it up, but the minute it get near 12 and a half cents, clearly you see this pushback. Let's look at like the 15-minute chart. There, you can see. When you look at the 15-minute chart, you see this inverted hammer. I don't know if you can see this here. You see this? See this pushback right here. And now it is stabilizing. If it can hold and push up, that's what we want to see. But so this is Doge. Definitely, it's very encouraging. It is looking a lot better than before, especially now. It is basically it is readjusting the baseline. The baseline was at this low. Now it is right to me is at around a 9 cents right now. So this is a good sign when you have like the higher higher low here and higher high. And it's also broke out of this major downward trend line. So it's a good sign. So the key level, 12.5 cents. If it can cross over that and stabilize over 12.5 cents without breaking down, then I'm looking at it can eventually test this next level, which is the 16.5 cents. That is what I'm aiming for right now. I'm not looking beyond this because obviously because I mean the market right now is the stock market is still kind of like shitty. So if if the stock market stabilize and slowly trending up, then there's a chance for those to move beyond 16.5 cents. But 16.5 cents is definitely a major resistance level. I mean, like I kind of like show you guys here. So in summary, I think likely that it would go kind of like retrace a little bit. There's a chance it may retest this here and then bounce up. And the next level is 16.5 cents, something like that. When did it hit 12 cents? Let me see. I can look at like the 1 minute chart here. Right at this point, it actually hit 12. Let's see here. The high is 12.2 cents. 12.2 cents. Yep. And 12.5 cents is this major lines here, major resistance. So that is the key here, guy. If those breeze past this and for the next couple of days hold over 12.5 cents, then there's a very good chance the momentum could push us to 16.5 cents. But most likely, the way I see is you're going to see some sort of pushback. And then if we can find support somewhere around here or even right at this like 9 cents here and move up. Brian, all right. Any questions about like Dogecoin before? So that is Dogecoin. Like I said, this morning I got like a couple messages about like looking at Dogecoin, and I was going to do a video, but to be honest, I've been so busy and I'm just too lazy to record a video and then like edit and all of that. That's why I figured, excuse me, just do a live stream and kind of, unfilter So let's see here. Um, Lex says, yes, I am still alive. All right, so guys, so here's the thing. If we see a pushback, let's hope that it's stabilized or find support if it ever dropped low around 9 cents. If it trade above 9 cents, then that's definitely a good sign. Most likely it's going to slowly bounce up. The key line is 12.5 cents. If it can cross over this and stabilize, meaning doesn't drop below that, that is when we can look forward to see this thing go to about 16.5 cents. These are the major level here. Brian, yes, 9 cent is the support right now. I think you probably missed the beginning, so you may want to watch it, but let me just briefly go through this again. When those drop down all the way to about 5 cents, at this point here, it found support at this level. I mean, back in 2021. Also, back in 2021, you see, when those started this move up, it get rejected right at around 9 cents. Retrace, found support at around the 5 cents level, bounce up, and then April, it breezed right past that. This when it ran all the way to about almost 80 cents. And then when you look at this, after it retraced, this is when the price broke down. See, at this point, it was struggling, trying to hold the 9 cents. But a lot of selling pressure, broke down. Found support at 5 cents. Ran up, got rejected at 9 cents here. Retraced, stabilized, breeze right past 9 cents. So what you have here is those reset the baseline from about the 5 cents, which is right at this point. Now it moved the baseline right now to about 9 cents. This is assuming the stock market doesn't crash on it. Because if the stock market retrace, then this might not hold. But if the stock market stabilize, and I think given the fact that right now Elon owns Twitter, I mean the momentum is there. But we still need the volume to pick up. But regardless, I think if this thing retraces, most likely it will find major support right at this 9 cents right now. So that is the key for us to look. If it retraces, we hope it stay above 9 cents and bounce up. If it bounces up right now, we want to see it cross over this line here, which is 12.5 cents. If it cross over, stabilize over that, then we can look forward to it retesting this line here, which is right at about 16 cents. So, but it's still very good news. Again, we still need retail buyers to step in because right now those is still running up on very low value, and you guys know me by now. When it run up with low value, I mean it get me nervous because you see a couple of times we saw this thing spike up, and all this relating to news about Elon. You see this major spike up only to see seller push it down because no value. And right here at this point, you see this candle here ran up only to see it get pushed down. Okay, so hopefully that is not going to be the case with what we see here. At least the good thing is this spike up here, those clear this major resistance trend line. That is a good sign. And you see it intersect right at 9 cents. So that's why I think 9 cents is definitely going to be this major support right now. All right, so that is Dogecoin. All right, let me go over like a couple more. Um, Doge is right now trading at 11.6 cents, up 38%. That's very good. Let's quickly look at like the 15-minute chart. Yeah, it's still looking good. Hopefully, it can run up and retest this high. Yeah, I mean, the still you're still seeing this uptrend right now. So the momentum is still there. There's a very high probability that it's going to retest this. I think it's going to retest like 12 and a half cents. The key is whether or not it can cross over that and then basically reset the baseline again. If it can do that, that'd be great. I mean, reset from 9 cents to 12 and a half cents and stabilize over that. I mean, that's definitely it's going to be a good news. All right. All right, let's take a quick look at Shiba as well. All right, let's look at Shiba here. Because Shiba is like Dogecoin. When those move up, Shiba moves up. When Shiba move up, those move up. So look at Shiba here. I haven't looked at Shiba in a long time, so let me see if I can even. Here it is. Shiba is up about 9%. All right, this is Shiba. Let's look at the daily chart. All right, bear with me for 1 second. Let me take a quick look at this chart here. Just draw some. All right, Shiba, Shiba, Shiba. All right, at this point, it dropped all the way down to this low. So I'm just gonna draw a line here at this point. All right. Wow, it dropped all the way down to like prior to this first run up. All right, let's see. Right at this point, there it is. All right, that's good. It's clearing this. Okay, so all right, a quick look at Shiba. Well, definitely there's some encouraging sign as well. I mean, when you look at the chart here, Shiba, after it spiked up, the first time it ran up back around like what is like May of last year. And then let me do this here. Let me move this down so that we can see this better. All right. Clearly, I mean, if you look at this, Shiba basically finds support right at around, I mean, this is like, oh, what is it like? 0.00001 right at this point, this yellow line here. And when we look at the chart, as you can see here, after it spiked past that and then retrace, it get rejected right at this point one, broke out, and then retrace, drop below that, but immediately bounce up. And as you can see, it's been kind of like trading above this major So this is the major, I mean, this is the baseline for us right now, just like the, let me call this like 0.1. And now it's bouncing up. What I like to see is it has to clear this. It is clearing it right now. So, I mean, when you look at this trend line, yeah, it's able to clear it right now. The next level that I'm looking for is right at this point. Let me see here. What is this? Let me put the there is a price. Right. I haven't used this thing in a while, so I mean the subscription right now. So it's at like 0.17 right at this point. We clear all this garbage I have here. So we are looking at 0.17 right here. And I mean, as you can see, 0.17, it found support, bounce, broke down here, tried to run back up, get rejected right at that point. So the next level that I'm looking for, I mean, if the momentum is there, is 0.17. It has to clear this. If it can clear 0.17, then we can look forward to it move to the next level, which is, let me draw right at around this point here. I mean, there's a lot of like tests here. I mean, reject, support, broke down, reject, reject. So at about like 0.3, that is the next level. But again, before we can look at 0.3, it has to run up to retest this line here. And I think it could do that, especially with the momentum that Dogecoin is. I mean, Dogecoin will carry Shiba right now. It used to be like Shiba was carrying Dogecoin, but now Shiba is moving up. And normally, what happened with this kind of like Dogecoin and Shiba is like Dogecoin have a big run, and then it's tapering. That all of a sudden, that's when you see Shiba is spiking up. So let's say if I were betting on trying to make some quick money, right now I would buy Shiba because most likely we're going to see this kind of like run up right after those coins stabilize. So I do expect to see Shiba run to about like 0.19 or even higher. Because when you look at Shiba, I mean it's been like dropping to almost nothing. So I think that's what I may do. I may buy some Shiba right now and probably sell it at around like 0.3. So that is Shiba, guys. If I mean like those, I mean if Shiba can run to about here 0.19 and stabilize over that, I mean like those coins, it's really readjusting the baseline support. The baseline support is at 0.1 right now. If we can get to this point and stabilize, and then the next one is about 0.29, 0.3 here. Oh yes, there definitely is hope. Elon. I mean, So that's Shiba. Let's take a quick look at the volume for Shiba as well. See 1 week. Yeah, volume is still low. I mean, like Dogecoin. It's understandable. I mean, when you look at the stock market, and crypto has been like down for such a long time. People are afraid to jump in right now. So what we need is we need the market maker, the whales, I mean, to continue to buy, and that would create some sort of momentum, and it will attract retail investors because we do need retail investors for this thing to spike like what we've seen in the past. Luis. All right, so definitely there is hope for meme coin, Shiba and Dogecoin. And if you like meme coin, I mean, stay with the major one. Don't buy like all this junk, because if you buy junk, I mean, it could go to zero. Um, all right. What else do you want to talk about? I'm probably going to be live for another 10 minutes. Oh, by the way, Zilliqa is still one of my favorite coin. It's been kind of like stagnant. It doesn't do. Oh, Shiba is up 11% right now. So I'm going to buy some Shiba right now and then probably sell it at about zero point 0.3. I think the momentum can push it there. That is assuming if we don't have a crash in the market. Yeah, look at this. I mean, looks good. All right, let me go. What do you think? Let's see here. What do you want to look at? Harmony. All right, let's look at harmony. Harmony one. Oh my God, I haven't looked at it in a long time. Let me clear this out. Quick look at the weekly chart. Yeah, we got this double top here. All right, let's just look at Harmony daily chart. Harmony is trading sideways right now, which is a good sign. All right, let me do this here. Okay, let me just draw some quick support and resistance for Harmony. Let's see. It dropped all the way down to this low, which is about 0.19 cents right at this point. All right, let me change the color to this here. All right, drop all the way down to this line, and then it definitely found support and bounce. All right, so that's what we see here. Let's do this. These are some of the. All right, so actually, Harmony is doesn't look bad. Okay, let me go through this now. Okay. Take a quick look at the Bollinger Band as well. Yeah, the band is definitely very, very tight right now. Okay. Well, bad news is obviously, I mean, Hamilton has been trading sideways. So if you own Hamilton, you're probably wondering, I mean, this thing is going to drop more or when it's going to pop. Key thing is when you look at this chart, I don't know if you can see this. I mean, it's really hard to see, especially if you're looking at the mobile phone. This is a weekly chart. Harmony dropped all the way down to about 1.7 cent. As you can see, it found support. So that was the baseline. And then after that, it's been trading sideways. You can see there's pretty much no action. But the key thing is while trading sideways, it finally break out of this downward trend line here. When you look at this, I mean, this is, remember, this is the weekly chart. This is the downward trend line that it has to break out and trade outside of that in order for it to be able to have any chance of moving up. The next major downward trend line that it will have to test is this guy here. Okay, so this is a good sign. It's been stabilizing, assuming if the market doesn't crash, because it could also easily break down as well. But so far, it's been holding. And we've seen in the past, just like with Dogecoin, I mean, I went over that. Dogecoin has been trading sideways for a long time. I mean, the price doesn't move. And when you look at this, the same thing is with Harmony. Look at this. This is the daily chart. It's very much been trading sideways since July until now. And if we look at the Bollinger Band, the band get very, very tight. You see, it was like Y, and now see how tight the Bollinger Band is. So if the stock market stabilize, or in simple, what is the right term here? Because like those coins moving up, it could also help the rest of the cryptocurrency to move up as well. And this thing could easily break out. I mean, the Bollinger Band is so tight. So normally when you see the Bollinger Band, once it gets so tight like that, it either like pop out, either like this way or this way. Most likely, I think, is it's going to pop up. And if it pop up, let's look at like the major level that we need to look for. Okay, let's remove the Bollinger Band. Definitely, right at this point, that is a major hurdle. Let's draw this line right here. There. I mean, if we look at this line and look at last year, it ran up, get pushed back right around this area. Retrace, found support, and bounce up. This is when it broke out. Now, when the price retraced, it was trying to find support right at this point, which is around like 3.5 cents. Bounced up, selling pressure broke down. Found support at this point, trying to retest this 3.5 cents again. As you can see, it got rejected. So the 3.5 cents to me right now is the next major level that Harmony has to test and have to cross over that. If it can readjust the baseline, which is like cross over this. And now instead of having this baseline at around the 1.5 cents, like Dogecoin, I mean, retest, cross over, and then stabilize over that. I mean, that's what we need to see. So the next level I see here is about 3.5 cents. Well, Doge, yeah, I mean, it's, all right, let's go back to Doge. Doge is at like 13.2 cents now, guys. Lots of momentum. Let's go back to the chart. There it is. Earlier, I mean, it got rejected at this point. It breezed right past that. Remember what I said, 16.5 cents is the level that I'm, next level that I'm looking for. So the point is, okay, it breezed right past that. Can it hold over 12.5 cents? I mean, if it retraces right now, if we look at this chart here, I mean, let's go to the 1 hour chart. All right. Volume definitely spike up. It ran all the way to 14.7 cents and then retraced. All right. Now, if we look at the 1 minute chart, there it is. You can see spike up. Good thing is, it's still looking like it's still trending up. You see, it's still trending up. Now, if this thing retraces, it has to hold at 12.5 cents. If it dropped below 12.5 cents, somehow it has to find support somewhere around here and slowly bounce. See now, I mean, as you can see, when you look at the 1 minute chart, there's definitely some selling pressure right now. There it is, see? This is the 1 minute chart. Spike up to 14.7 cents and sellers step in. They're unloading it right now. What we need is, let me clear this. The last time when it spiked up to about 12.2 cents. We want to see it hold support at this based on this 1 minute chart. So if it drops and if it can stabilize, then we can look at the next leg up. So I mean, it cannot drop below this. But Shiba, let me see here. What is Shiba doing? Yeah, Shiba is up 11%. I think the next 2 or 3 days, we are going to see Shiba spike just because Dogecoin. Normally, that's normally that is the case. When you see one meme coin like those run, Shiba will follow because there's no reason for Shiba not to follow those. All right, let observe those for another few minutes, and after that, I have to run. So right now, you're looking at a minute by minute here. This line is the key. I mean, we don't want to see it drop below that. So let's just draw this here. This is here. If it can hold and stabilize over this, then there's a chance for it to run to the next level, which is the 16.5 cents. So after this major spike, obviously we have some selling pressure. We want to see this thing stabilize. Shiba is up 12% right now. I think Shiba right now is a definitely is a buy for me. That's what I'm gonna do. I should have done that when I talk about this. Let me see here. I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna grab some Shiba right away. All right, let me see here. All right, I'm gonna buy some Shiba right now. Let me see here. Let's see. Shiba. Um, I mean, it's hard for me to um. Let's see here. Is it okay to buy Shiba? No, I cannot like tell you to buy now or not because I am not a financial advisor. But I think for me, um, I mean, it's really hard for you to be able to kind of like determine when is like the bottom. Shiba is really low right now, so I am just gonna buy it and leave it there and hold because Shiba is definitely gonna run up, try to catch up with Dogecoin. It might not be today, but I mean within the next couple of weeks. My goal is Shiba would run up to what is it, like I said, 0.0003, and I would get rid of it when it get to that. Uh, all right, that's it. Hopefully, I make the right decision here. I just bought a lot of Shiba. Hopefully, you guys are not gonna laugh at me. All right. Shiba could retrace, but I think it's it's had a it still has a lot more. I mean, it's been like it's been doing nothing for a while. It's just starting to show sign that it can move up. So I'm gonna buy it and hold it for a while and sell when it get to about point 0.3. All right, guys. It's been really nice chatting with you. I have to run now, but Doge is looking good. 16.5 cents is the next level that I'm looking for. But the key is if it retrade today, let's hope that it can close the day above 12.5 cents and stabilize over that for the next couple of days. If it can do that, then I think we can look at the next level. So, all right, guys, I will chat with you next time. Okay. Hopefully, next time when I go live, we will see um, Dogecoin at 16.5 or above. Let's just quickly look at Dogecoin again. I mean, look at it. Yeah, Doge is like up 57%. It is trading at 13.2 cents right now. So definitely the momentum is there. And I just want to take a look at the hourly. Yeah, I mean, volume is picking up, but it's still relatively low. We need more people jump in. I mean, need more people to buy those. We need to get this volume definitely up. The next level here is 16.5 cents, guys. Let me do this. There it is. If it can cross over this and re-establish 16.5 as the baseline, then we're looking at this. I mean, after that is 22 cents. When you look at this here, right at this, right at this here, that's about 22 cents. Because again, at 22 cents, you see there's a lot of tests, retest, support, breakdown, support, all that stuff. So this 16.5 and then about 22 cents. Wow, those is up 61%. Huh. Shiba is up 14%, guys. See, Shiba is running up in sympathy of Doge. So Shiba just started. Let me do this here. Let me see if there's a way that I can do a comparison chart so that we can look at Doge versus Shiba here. Now, I have to subscribe for this again. I haven't do video in a while, so my subscription get expired. So right now I'm just using this free version. Let's look at like Shiba up like 15% now, guy. It's running. Do I own those lawn Mars? No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay. Uh, yeah. I mean, now with Elon, everything is running up. It sounds great, but the only thing I can say is like, I mean, just be careful. I mean, don't don't go all in on any of this coin because we've seen how volatile these things are. Okay, so yeah, Shiba will run up. Doge is up 60%. I'm glad everybody's happy right now. All right, guys, I will chat with you guys later. Hopefully, next time we're going to see Doge at 16.5 cents. Stabilize over that. And then we can talk about the next level, which is 22 cents. But like I said, those still need to get more volume. Volume right now is still very, very low. Okay. Second thing is the stock market has to stabilize because crypto tends to follow the stock market. Lottery ticket. That's right. Hey, that's how you do it. Those lawnmowers. I don't think this, let me see here if I can search. I don't know if the software has those lawnmower. Let me see here. Okay, those those lawnmower. Yeah, it's yeah right here. Oh yeah, it's spiked up here as well. But just like anything else, I mean, it's been like yeah, it's starting to spike up. So that's good. Uh, yeah, those is looking good. Wow, Shiba is 17%, guys. I'm making money already. Not much. Up about 3% since I bought it. Wow, look at the volume here. See how much I bought here? All right, guys. I will chat with you all later. Thank you very much. And maybe I'll go online again tomorrow if those continue to go up. All right, bye now.